Thank you, Madam Speaker. I think the Honourable Member, it's much clearer now. The answer, Madam Speaker, yes, there are plans to have these collection centres to, of course, assist our farmers to access the markets. All honourable members of this House, Madam Speaker, will recall that in the 2018 budget, we have an allocation called the Agro-Processors Infrastructure Support Program, additional to the National Export Strategy, and of course the Export Promotion Program that's already in existence in the Ministry of Trade and the Ministry of Agriculture, respectively, Madam Speaker. Definitely, the organizing and the establishment of these collection centers are so important, Madam Speaker. But there are other factors that we need to take into consideration as we are addressing this issue, Madam Speaker. One is the effort to organize production in the geographic regions. Fiji has vast challenges when it comes to market access, Madam Speaker. The maritime islands, Lomaiviti, Lau, all different geographic regions have their own challenges, but of course opportunities as well. Some of these islands, let us refer first to the maritime islands, they have regular shipping, or they are serviced by franchises, or government civil services provides in between these services that are provided. But of course in the within the mainland as well, Madam Speaker, there are infrastructure issues, roading, bridges, etc. But we are organizing production now in terms of geographic regions and then work with the stakeholders, development stakeholders, to find out what's required so that we can ease this problem of market access in relation to the production regions. And of course, Madam Speaker, together with Fiji's land use classification, we are trying now to do our best to allocate commodities according to the land specification. We have been farming for a long time in Fiji, and most of the farmers decide what crops they grow in the geographic regions. But as we are trying now to modernize agriculture in Fiji, we want to guide our farmers. This region, these are your best crops according to your soil classification. So that not everybody produces the same commodity and all of a sudden we flood the market. This is one thing that we are organizing production in geographic regions. Together with that, Madam Speaker, we then need to organize the farmer groups. This is the key effort now, I would say, starting from last year, this year, and will continue to be the focus for the next few years. I thank the question raised by the Honourable Member, Madam Speaker, because this is perhaps an opportune time for farmers and of course for all of us here as well to spread the message that because of the challenges of volume when it comes to production, our smallholder farmers particularly, I am specifically referring to smallholder farmers because farmer classification, Madam Speaker, in Fiji we have commercial, which is not much, and then we have a few semi-commercial level operators, but the majority of farmers in Fiji are the smallholder subsistence. And even we have farm for those that are living in, we can say, farming settlements, but their livelihood is from other sources. He can be in a small land, but then just backyard gardening, but he's got a taxi. He's a fisherman. And these are what we can say that perhaps survive more on non-farm economies rather than the farm itself. So the smallholder farmers, Madam Speaker, we are trying to organize them into these small groups. Why? Because one individual farmer, when it comes to volume, most of them are unlikely to produce the volume that is necessary to entice the buyer to come to the farm gate. But when there are a group, and we are just looking at the models that are already in existence, Madam Speaker, it's easy to organize them into tikinas. And that involves all the farmers within the Tikinas, Madam Speaker. But there are some farming areas, I'll use Moenoen for an example. They already have their farming communities. Lomebuna as well, they already have their farming communities. And because they do farming day in, day out, and most of these are semi-commercial farmers, it's easy to bring the... But cut the story short, Madam Speaker, we are trying to organize them into groups. And I'm thankful that farmers are beginning to understand the need why we need to organize them into groups. From agriculture extension perspective, Madam Speaker, this is also easier for agriculture, because instead of running around all over the place, because every activity means costs as well, it's easy to provide technical advice, provide the supervisory role, and of course organize the markets as well. And this is exactly where we are heading, organize these farming clusters. I've said this again, Madam Speaker, again, when we are organizing these groups, there must be a market. And this is one thing that is very, very critical now. We are looking at, first, domestic markets, Madam Speaker, and of course, the team that not all farmers has the license and of course the volumes to have, and of course the infrastructure as well to export directly, but there are a few farming groups that are doing that already. But then if in the absence of that, maybe those that already have export license, we can organize them. So organize them to the market, and of course organize their commodities as well, Madam Speaker. I've talked about the geographic regions. Let's not spread ginger all over the place, because in some places ginger does well, but then in some places where there is very limited rainfall, ginger does not perform well. But you know, Madam Speaker, everything is driven by price, and most of our farmers, oh, ginger price is good, everybody goes into ginger. Even now they are planting ginger in most of the Western Division, Madam Speaker. But when it comes to the yield, so we're trying to organize the commodities as well. And another component in this, Madam Speaker, is of course pricing as well. Although price, Madam Speaker, is driven by the private sector. We are a free market economy. But this is why it's important that we organize them into groups, because we have a component of the value chain. They are critical, but most of the times we say that they are necessarily evil. These are the middlemen, Madam Speaker. When we organize the farmers better, it entices the buyer to come directly to the farm gate. Hopefully, we will get rid of the middlemen as well, so that farmers can get the maximum benefit out of this. And perhaps two more, Madam Speaker, we need to look at their facilities as well. Proper pack houses, crates. I've talked about agriculture being perishable. So when we are organizing the groups, we are also looking at all their needs as well. And of course, shared as well. Rather than buying chainsaws for every farmer within the group, maybe they can share this. And lastly, Madam Speaker, the need for technology and whatever assistance they need as well. And hopefully in the long term, they'll do some product development as well. We can collect all the reject or the lower grade dalos from the farmers, and they can have a small machine that does dalo starch or dalo flour. These are the things that we're looking at. But again, Madam Speaker, it's definitely there, and there are already clusters that are being formed, but it involves a bit of indoctrination and awareness. This is so that we change the mindset of the farmers. Thank you, Madam Speaker.